Hi, this is Ennis from Never Stop Trucking. We are talking about steps when onboarding a new owner-operator to our authority. Now, this is not an owner-operator who has his or her own authority and you're just dispatching them. This is an actual procedure when you have someone that has their own truck, in our case, their own semi-truck, and they want to be leased on to our authority drive under USORA Express signs. So this might be helpful to you as we created this really painless process and a smooth process where we can onboard an owner operator if we have to within few days. But I just tell everyone it's going to be around 7 days, including the weekend. But it is technically possible to do it in less than that, but we don't want to rush anything. We want to make sure that everyone is safe and ready to go. So the first step that we do is, of course, the informational call with the potential owner-operator / driver. We would talk to them and tell them what the rates are, what they can expect, what the liability and cargo fees are, the fuel cars that they're getting. If they need a trailer, we can talk about that, and the way we would treat everything, how often they get paid, when they get paid, etc. So this is a great way to introduce yourself and your company to the owner-operator, and they can introduce themselves, talk about their needs, about their wants, their past experiences that they had with different companies. And it's good to find out their pain points, what they didn't like in their previous companies. And that way you can tell them how you do things different and what you can do in order to prevent all those things that they didn't like. After that, after the owner-operator agrees to everything, and you kind of come to a conclusion that you will be a match, then you can proceed to the next step. So what we do right now is we have a DocuSign subscription, and DocuSign is a really great way where you can upload your existing application or start from scratch, and everyone can fill out those applications no matter where they are. They can do it on their computer, on their laptop, phone, iPad. You just send it to their email, and they open it up, and you input their name and your name, so they don't have to put everything many times. Like their name is already pre-filled everywhere, and once they sign it once, then they can apply that signature to other pages. So it's very fast, even though there are a lot of pages, as you know, for DOT. Driver application. It's mandated by the FMCSA and DOT, but this is really painless, and there is the paperwork is minimal. So that way you don't have to print anything. You can keep all those documents as digital files in your driver qualification folder. You can keep them in the cloud, safely, of course. And you can extract pages if you have to down the road. So it's very easy for everyone to work with DocuSign. So we will send them that application, and in that application they can even upload their driver's license and their medical card. Now there is another document that we keep separate, and that's the actual agreement. Some truck owners don't drive their trucks. They have a driver. So the owner of the truck will actually sign the agreement with USORA Express, not the driver. So that's why we have these two different documents. But if the driver is the owner of the truck, then they will the driver will have to fill out both of those documents. So there are two of them. In the trucking agreement file, the driver or the owner-operator can upload the DOT inspection, the truck registration, bobtail insurance, the title, everything related to the truck or the trailer if they have one. So that's another good way to keep that file digitalized, and that way you can for sure get all those documents that you need, because in the past we had some trouble. We would send them a scanned document to their email, or they would have to come to the office and fill out the application, and then you would have to gather all those documents from them, the DOT inspection, the registration, medical card, license, all of that. There are so many documents that you have to get from the driver, and then you would forget something, or they would forget something, or they don't have it on them, or it's expired. And then they even start driving, and the driver qualification folder is not 100% ready. This way, we prevent all of that, because the driver cannot send us an application or the truck agreement. The system will not let them until they upload all those needed documents, right? So this way, we are sure that they're serious, that they want to work with us, because if they do want to work with us, they're going to go out of their way to get all those documents and include them. And then we are preventing any missing paperwork down the road. So that's really great to gather all those documents and don't think about that anymore. After we get the application, we would check the references on the previous employment. We have to send, by law, we have to send previous employment forms to the previous trucking companies where they were, and that way you can talk to that company and tell them, hey, I am inquiring about this driver, where can I send the form to that they sign? Because this is the part of the application. They signed a release form that I am able to send to all those employers back 3 years back. So once they get that release form, then they can send me everything that we need, that we have to have by law, like accident reports, positive drug tests, things like that. And then sometimes the previous employers will put a note and they will say, hey, this driver is eligible to hire again, or there was this problem that we encountered with this driver, just so you know. And that's a good way to check to see who these people are, because you don't know them. Like you spoke to them a couple of times on the phone, you check their MVR, their driving record, but you don't really know them, and they're going to be on your insurance, and they're going to be driving under your authority. So you need to do your investigation, and then also check the PSP, that's for the CSA, if they had any violations with the DOT, any other services, you check that as well. The fifth thing that we do is the confirmational call or a text message, if you really have to do it that way. So once everything is checked, the insurance will accept them, because my insurance I have to send my the driver's license to the insurance, and they will also send me their MVR, their driving record. And that way, the insurance will tell me right away if they can accept this driver, if they can put this driver on the insurance, right? And then I get to see the driving record, and then we can see like their history. And once that is checked, once everything is done, then we would talk again. We would say, hey, everything is great. And most drivers are really good. Like very rarely we get our insurance to say no to a driver unless they had something really big on their record, or if they don't have 2 years of driving experience. So, and that's very rare. So once everything checks out, we talk to them, and then we go further. Now it's getting serious, right? Now they still want to do it. They still want to come over to us. And then sometimes we will have drivers come here if they're willing to do that, if they're close. If they're too far away and it's a hassle for them to come in, then we would mail them everything, right? We'll mail everything that they need to them. But before we do that, we may need to make sure that they are serious, because I have to get the annual ELD subscription for the ELD. So I have to send them the actual device and the cables and the signs and all of that. And that is a big investment for us. So we want to make sure that they're very serious about working with us before we send that out. So once the confirmation call is done, then we can proceed further. The next step is a drug test. If they cannot come in here, I would pick up the phone and go, like we have someone in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, right? So I go there and go to Google Maps, and then I look for DOT drug tests. And usually in most of the cities or small towns, there's at least 2 or 3 drug test facilities that are nearby that do DOT drug testing. So I call them, hey, what's your procedure for that? Do you need anything from me? How much does it cost? We set it up. Usually it's not a big deal to complete all of that. Some of these big companies, they have a lot of paperwork. You have to create an account, and I stay away from them, right? I find someone local who is easy to work with. So I call them, set it up, and tell them, hey, you have an appointment tomorrow at 8 a.m., or you can come in any time. Just give them your CDL, and you can do a drug test. They go there, and then sometimes we have to wait for a day. Sometimes we have to wait for like 3 days, depending on the facility. Here, the one that I use, that I have a contract with, and I prefer to do that, I would tell all the drivers, like, can you come in here, because we're going to do all of this much easier, much faster, and you go to our drug testing facility, and they have the results the next day, the next business day, right? So that's very fast. But if not, we'll find someone locally where they live. I will also send a clearinghouse query request to the clearinghouse, because as part of the application, they will sign a release form where I'm able to do a full pre-employment query on a driver with the clearinghouse, right? And that's answered instantly. Most of the time, 99.9 times, is the clearinghouse query is okay. So once that's all received, once we have a green light from the drug testing, they send me a negative drug test, and I have a clearinghouse result. Then I would go out, and I have a system. I go to UPS. I used to use a regular post, US mail, but they would lose the packages, they would open them up, and it's just a hassle. So now I go to UPS. I have everything ready. I have always 2 to 3 ELDs ready to go with subscription, with cables. Everything is ready, sitting here in my office. I always have at least 2 to 3 truck signs in different colors, depending on the color of the truck. I have the paperwork. Everything is ready. I just put it in the box and then send it to them. So what I do is I send them the ELD device, the cable for the ELD, the signs that go on the truck, the USDOT number, and the unit number that goes on their truck, the fuel card. I don't activate it. I activate it when they are ready, when they're dispatched on the first load. So once they are dispatched, they're on insurance, then I would activate the card and give them the information that they need on the pump. And then I would also send them the permits from the company, the authority, the Kentucky, New York, IFTA, insurance. All of those permits will be in that packet, okay? And that's a 2-day delivery. So 2-day, that's the cheapest and fastest for that money, and we get a tracking number and insurance as well for that, right? So then I would create an ELD account for them in the Motive app, and I would send them their login information. So once they get everything, they connect it to their truck. They use their phone to connect via Bluetooth to the device. They choose their truck, and they're all set for the ELDs. And then once all of that is done, I gather all of those documents that they sent me, their driver's license, medical card, DOT inspection, MVR, negative drug test, application, all of that and more, and we put it in a driver qualification folder. You have 3 folders. One is for the driver, one is for the truck, and one is for the trailer, right? All of them have to have their own driver qualification folders. And the next thing is we start looking for loads. We don't add them to the insurance, the truck, or the driver, because the liability and cargo is very expensive, and we don't want to add them to the insurance until they are ready to go and they have a load, right? Because sometimes the driver will say, hey, I'm ready on Tuesday, right? And they got everything. Everything is ready. Everything is set up, and they're ready on Tuesday morning. And there are no loads where they want to go, or they go to their truck and something is wrong, they have to go fix it, or there's something comes up, right? Usually on their end. And I added them to the insurance, and now maybe they're not going to be ready for another 2 or 3 days, and that's a lot of money to pay each day just for the insurance, because the truck is sitting and they're not working, but they're insured, and I have to charge them for that insurance. So once they're at the truck, once they have the load, we find them a load. Before we dispatch them, we email our insurance. Usually it's after 9 in the morning anyway, because that's when they open. And as soon as you email them, within few minutes, our insurance will tell us, hey, this driver and truck and trailer, they're added to your insurance. And they send me the certificate, right? So once we get that, we dispatch them the load information, and now they can go and pick up the next load. The only thing that I skipped here is getting the trailer. If they do need a trailer, we can rent dry-van trailers here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but then I would tell them, hey, because you need a trailer, you would have to come here anyway, and we can get all of this done here. I don't have to send you anything. You don't have to fill out anything. You can even do the drug test here, right? So that's the only thing extra if they do not have their own trailer. This is Anis from Never Stop Trucking. I hope you like this video. I hope it helped you. Let me know if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel, come back for more, and I'll see you guys around.